Okay, hello there guys. Welcome back to another VB.NET tutorial about developing a simplified accounting system. So in the last video we managed to create an account statement. As you might see here, there's the account statement. Okay, and we did a little bit of refactoring and few things. So the system is very simple, but it is very powerful. You can modify and you receive, and everything get updated accordingly. So we still have few things to do. For example, if we go to the development steps, you will find that we need to work on the backup. So in order to do that, we will add a module here. This is a new class, and I will call this backup restore class. There you go. Okay, so this backup restore class. Now let us think about this a little bit. So how do you perform a backup on well sorry. Basically the backup represents all the information that the user stored or the systems stored, right? And these information could be found where in the tables, these tables, accounts, account statement, receipt, user, and parser. What we need to do here is to first loop over every table and save it, right? And in order to do that, actually I'll put a star here. In order to do that, what we need to do, we need for each table, we need to loop over every row and save it, okay, in that table. And in order to do that, we need to do what? Loop over each field and save it, right? And in order to save the field, we need to do two things. We need to save the field length followed by field value, okay? And in order to do that, we need to store these values as bytes. So I don't think I need to write that, but you know, this is basically the idea. So let us start working with this one. So public shared function save database. Okay, so you'll be able to save database or create backup. You could name this method whatever, or function whatever you like. So here there's gonna be file name as a string, okay, and error msg, there's an error message, and this is gonna be boolean, okay. So the method would return boolean, okay, used to save the database. Okay, so what should happen here? We add a try catch. So if there's any problem here, we just say error message equals ex.message and we return false. In addition to that, since we are accessing the database tables, we will need the database manager class. So we'll need the database manager class and the other parameters. Okay, what is the objecting about? Oh, the data type of this one. I forgot to type that. Yes, okay. Let me reduce the size of this a little bit here and change this size a little bit here. Okay. Now, since we finished this one, what should we do? Well, basically we need to save the tables here. In order to save the tables, we need to open the file and start writing. So we will do the following. I'm going to say using fs as a new system IO file stream, and now I need to pass few things here. So the path, this is going to be file name followed by the mode. So this is going to be create new, so we'll create a new file. And the using keyword, just in case you don't know what this is for, basically means when you exit this code or this block, the end using one, the file object will get destroyed and all the resources will go back to the operating system, so your program does not leak memory or other stuff. Okay, this is very important. Okay, so here we open the file, and now what we need to do is to perform the very first step, which is loop over every table and save it. Now, to simplify things, I will add here a function that will get me the list of tables the application is using. So public function get list of tables as list of string. Okay, so dimension lst as a new list of string, and lst.add we have vars table. Okay, lst.add we have users table. lst.add we have accounts table, and lst.add we have accounts statement table, right? Accounts, let me make sure that the spelling is accurate. Yes, and we have lst.add we have what? We have the account, let me see, receipts table, the receipts table. So we have 5, 1 2 3 4 5, and here we have 1 2 3 4 5. So we have 5 tables, and finally we return the list lst. That's it. And now we said that we need to loop over every table and save it. So basically we say dimension I as integer for I equals 0 to sorry, just forget this, dimension as integer, dimension table list equals get list of tables and this one doesn't work because this needs to be a shared function, shared. Okay, so now the error is gone because this one's shared, this one needs to be shared as well. Yeah, so now we have the list of tables. All we have to do is the following: for I equals 0 to table list dot count, and we need to call a method which is save table and pass to that what? Table list of I. Okay, so now we know what is the next function to build. So let's go here. So public shared function save table, db as database manager class, right? And next thing to have table fs as system IO file stream, there you go, and table name as string by ref. You know what, we don't need to put try catch here. Yeah, I will just, sorry, not a function, this will be a subroutine, right? And that's it. Yeah, so what should we do here? Well, simply we need to have just for debugging and making our code a little bit easier, we need to first store table name, okay, so that we could verify that everything's okay, and then store the rows, table rows, right? Now to simplify things a little bit, I'm gonna add the following method: public shared sub save string. Okay, so val as string and f as a system IO file stream. Okay, it might be a little bit confusing for you guys. It will make sense in a second. Just focus with me. So here we want to write a string into the file stream. Okay, first we need to convert the string into an array of bytes. So dimension b equals system text encoding get encoding. I will choose Windows 1256. You might choose a different encoding based on the text you are using on the machine. Okay, so if you're using Chinese, probably you'll use different encoding and so on. Anyway, but this one will work fine with Middle Eastern languages, and also with English. It will work perfect with English, of course. Anyway, so when I get the encoding, I call the get bytes method and get the value here. Now I could write the value, the bytes in B right away, but since I'm writing a single backup files, there should be a way for the program to distinguish how many bytes this value represents, because you don't want to read extra bytes that belong to another data or another string and consider it part of the same string you are currently reading. So you need to write the length of that string, right? So here I'm gonna say dimension bytes length, okay, as long, okay, and here I'm gonna say what this is gonna equals to p dot length. That's wonderful. And since we have this length, I'll do something else. b2 equal convert dot to byte. Okay, and wait a second, there should be a way. Where is that? To, I think to byte, right? Yeah. Oh no, this one doesn't work. I think I need to write this one myself. Yeah. Okay, we could do this ourselves. So here I'm gonna use 4 bytes representing the length of the string. Okay, this is gonna be integer, dimension b2 as integer, dimension b3 as integer, and dimension b4 as integer. So b1 equals bytes length mod 256, and bytes length equals bytes length, use this division, not this one. Okay, okay, this is b1. Oops, this is gonna be byte length. Okay, so this is b1, b2, b3, b4. Okay, let me update this right away. 3 and 4. Okay, so basically we took the 4 bytes representing the length. I am assuming that basically it's an integer, so I think it's 32-bit, so it's the 4 bytes, but I'm using long here, so don't worry about that. Worst case scenario, it's 4 bytes, which means about 4 gigabytes, but there is no string that is 4 gigabytes, right? So anyway, so now we need to write the length. To do so, we just say file stream dot write byte. I will pass b1 b2, 3 and 4. So this b2, b3 and b4. So now we wrote the 4 bytes. Next we need to write the array. So file stream dot write, and here I will pass the b, which represents a string. It's here, as you can see, and I need to specify which bytes to be written. So starting from 0 and b dot length, and that's it. So this will help me write a single value into the file string, and when I read the value from the string, I will read these 4 bytes, and from these 4 bytes I will know the size of the string, so I will read the bytes accordingly and reconstruct everything from the array. Okay, it will make sense when you do that later on. Don't worry. Anyway, so let us do this. Basically we would say fs.write save string, and we need to pass the table name. That's it. And what do we have also? Oh, wait a second, fs, yeah. So after saving the table name, we need now to read the value from the database. So dimension dt, or using dt equals db dot full data table. This will be select star from, and I will concatenate this with table name, and this will get me the whole table in memory. So now I could save the table row by row. Okay, so dimension I as integer. Okay, for I equals 0 to dt.rows.count -1. So I need to call a method called save row. Okay, and I will pass to it the file stream, and also I will pass to that dt dot the data table and the index. Okay, this should be it, nothing more. Right now, in addition, there's something else I need to do. I need to write how many rows are there. Okay, so in order to do that, I will just say save string dt file string followed by dt.rows.count.toString. Okay, so basically we are telling which table to be saved, then how many rows are there, and then we save all the rows. Okay, and that's it. So now let's work on the save row method. So we created this save table. Let's go and write the save row. So we have public shared sub save row as what was it? It is system IO file stream. That's wonderful. And also, what do we have? We need to pass the dt as data table, which has the information for us. And also, what do we have? We need the index as integer. Okay, so this subroutine is going to be very straightforward, and I will make things redundant because I want to make this code very fast. I don't want, to make it efficient for now, just want it to work. So I will write how many columns. For this reason, I will say save string passing the file stream and say dt.columns.count. I need to know how many columns I am writing. Okay, each row has a number of columns, so I need to know right? And next dimension I as integer, and then for I equals 0 to dt dot columns dot count -1, right? So I will do two things here. I will save the column name followed by the column value. This will be a repetition. This is not an efficient way, but you know, it just works, and you will see how. So here I will just say save string. Okay, this is gonna be a file stream followed by dt dot columns of I dot column name, right? So I'm saving the column name, and after that I will save the value. So save string, file string followed by dt dot rows of index dot item of I, and I will add to that an empty string, so that if I get a db null value, I will end up with a string, so I don't get an error. So now what do we get now? We have something that saves a single value. This is saving a row, and the number of row represents a table. And since we finished this one, we basically have the method that will allow me to save the table, right? So I could call this now. So I will say save table, and I will pass table, table list of I. And not only that, I need to pass the fs here, file stream, right? And also I need to pass what? db. So db file stream, okay. And that's it. So if all goes well, I should return true. And if there is a problem, I need to say db rollback. Okay, so that's it. This is the save backup method. It's very straightforward. So let me explain to you the code. It is very easy. So we open the file here, right? And then we get the list of tables. So these are the names of the tables. So we get the list of tables, and then we loop on every table, and we save that full table into the database. It is as easy as that. Now let's see how this one works. This is also very easy. We write the table name, we load the information from the database, we write how many rows in that table, so that when we are loading, we know how many rows are there, and then we loop over every row and save that row fully. Now when we want to save a row, basically we write how many fields there are in this row, and then we will loop on the columns of that row, write the column name, and then write the value. Okay, and when we are writing the every value, we are converting the string into a byte array, and then writing the length followed by the actual bytes of the string. It is very straightforward, not difficult, right? So I think now we are ready to test this one, right? So let us go to our project. Let's go here, let's go here, let's go to our main window. Okay, so we have accounts, we have receipts. We might add another tab and call it administration and put the backup there. Okay, so let us add a tab, and I will click here and say administration. Okay, so this administration. Let me copy a few things. Where's the go to document outline? Let's go to this one. Where's the back color? Yeah, copy this, go here, click, and where's the back color? back color. There you go. Oops, not this one. Okay, so now since we have this, I think I'll copy one of the buttons because I'm lazy. Okay, and also I want it to be the same size as others. Okay, so instead of this, it's going to be backup. Okay, now when you press the backup button, what should happen? We need to see a save file dialog, and in addition to that, we need to open connection to the database, blah blah blah. So yeah, so let me do this. So dimension sfd as a new save file dialog, sfd.filter equals start dot accounting backup. This is a long extension, right? But you know, it's very descriptive. You could change that according to what you like. So if sfd save file dialog dot show dialog doesn't equal OK, which means you might press cancel or escape, then exit this subroutine. Now since all is OK, I'll say dimension db equals you know, new acclib.db.database manager class. Okay, let's add a try catch, db.open database connection, and error msg. Then okay, so we might want to error msg as string equals nothing. There you go. So if this doesn't work, then through new exception error message, right? It's very simple, very straightforward. And here message box, I would say cannot, or actually just say ex.message. There you go, and error. Okay, followed by error. There you go. That's it. And finally, close database. Okay. Now what happens after you just open the database? You just call the following. If not, acclib database backup restore class dot save database, and now I'll pass the database object. I'll pass sfd dot file name and error message, then through new exception error message. That's it. This is the whole code. There's nothing else to be done. So let me put a breakpoint here and show you what is going to happen. So now we are running this. I will access the program as administrator. Let's go to the administration tab. Oops. Let me fix this very quickly. I'm very sorry about that. And let me see, where's the anchor? Yeah, I don't need to do these guys. Okay. Okay, admin 1 2 3 go. Let's go to administration again. Okay, now this is normal size. I click here. Okay, it's gonna ask me what's the name of the backup file. I'm gonna call it test and save. Okay, so now let's go and press F11, F10. So we are opening the file, getting the list of tables, and F10. So this is going to be the first table, as you can see here. So the vars. So F11, let me show you. So we'll save the vars, the string vars, which is the name. This is the name of the table. So let's go to F11, go here. I will get the bytes representing the word var, and these are 4 bytes only. Now I will split this number into its individual bytes, okay, this long variable into its individual bytes, and basically b1 should be 4, b2 and 3 and 4 should be 0. So 0 0 0, it's working fine. And then I will write the actual bytes representing the word vars, and done. Okay, now I will load everything from the vars table, and I will write how many rows are there, 2 rows basically, and then loop over each row and save them. So let's go to the first row. So now here, how many columns? We have 2 columns again, and next we have to ask ourselves what's the value of the first column, or the name, sorry, it's var name, and what's the value there at index 0. Okay, so let me go press F11. It's the value what it's counter, right? Okay, so you know, here now the value is different, 7000, and this is the word counter. And yeah, and this is the second column, which is the value. Okay, so we finished the first row. Now the same thing repeats for the second row, and so on. Okay, we save the first table, the same story repeats. This is the second table, and there's an error here. What did we do? Okay, so there are a few problems here. Well, we have some fields that are double. For this very reason, let's go and solve this, and let's say whatever, save that. Okay, we saved the first table. This is the second table of 11. Now we are going to save the row, the user ID. Okay, okay, so this is my fault, my mistake, so let me fix this. So basically we need to identify the data type of the field, and if it is a long value or a decimal value, we need to convert that into a string. So if dt.columns of i.type equals system.int32, system.int32, then okay, so here we are. Actually, I think this is not equal with data types. I think we should use is, right or what? Oh, equals, I think it was get type. I always forget these functions, don't know why. Yeah, it should be something like this, right? So here I'm gonna change this quickly. Dimension value obj as string equals nothing. So if this one equals an integer, so value object equals dt.rows of index dot item of I dot toString. Okay, and yeah, you know what, actually we could just, sorry, oh, you have a better solution and more compact one. If dt dot rows of index, okay, dot item of I equals db null dot value, then our friend here, okay, this will be more efficient, equals an empty string. Okay, otherwise, regardless of the data type, we would just call the toString, which will solve the problem. So let me see, we are saving this one. Oops, I meant to press F10, no problem there. Okay, so it is not db null, I suppose. Oops, it's not defined. That is a problem there. That is wrong. Okay, my mistake again. Let me return to this one. Yeah, seems like I'm not focusing well. Okay, let's see, what did I do here? What mess did I do here? Oh, so was it it's equal? No. Okay. Okay. Let me add a test for the data type as it was before here. So basically, if dt dot rows of index, oh, not that, columns of I dot data type equals get type of system int 32. In that case, this guy, it will be like that, otherwise it will be like that. Okay, so let me explain to you what's happening here. I'm assuming if I get an integer number, I will simply call the toString and convert that integer into a string. Otherwise, I will just, you know, consider it a normal string and just work out that. And this one here, this is going to be value obj. Okay, let us test our code and see if it works. Save that. There'll be another error. Okay, let's go here, say backup. Okay, let's go here, okay. Okay, no problem. Now the second table, now we finished the vars table. Let's go for the second table. Okay, so stop on I is 1, second table is the users, sorry. So press F11, we are gonna save this, and yeah, so the data type is int32. Okay, that's fine, we got the value here, which is 1, and we save that. Okay, and so on and so on and so on. It's working. We finished the users table. Let's go to the third table, which is accounts. F11. Let's go. Okay, the first data type, okay, that's fine. Okay, this is a string, that is also fine. Oh no, this is decimal, I didn't check that. Else if dt columns of I dot data type equals get type system.decimal, then else. Okay, it will be the same method here. Okay, so if it is an integer or decimal, just call the toString, and yeah, it worked perfectly well. Yep, yep, and it is working well. Yeah, and so on and so forth. Okay, so it seems that we are able to save all of this, and the next table gets saved, and the next table, and end using, and we return true, and that's it. Close the database, all is fine. So now the code for saving the backup works well. So I press save backup. I'm gonna say final test again, and press save here, and that's it. Let us see what do we get. Sorry, so this is here on the desktop. I will just run notepad, okay, and drag and drop here just to show you this is a binary file, but the values are stored normally, right? So this is the vars table. Okay, it has 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay, 2 rows, so we have 2 columns. The first is var name, which have the value counter. The second is var value, which has the value 330, and so on, right? And this is the table users, and so on. It's very straightforward, you know. And there are many values that are being repeated here, so you know, that is a more efficient way. You could reduce, you know, all the repetition in the data, but I am seeking an easier implementation. This is why I'm doing this. So this is about 3 kilobytes. If you would like to compress this with the standard Windows zipping utility, you will get something that is much lower, which is about, this is less than 1 kilobyte. So you know, because most of the data here is text, so it is compressible, right? Anyway, so as you can see, we managed to basically finish the backup code. It is not very difficult, very straightforward, right? So this is the backup, and UI for backup, no problem there. And next time we will do the restore. The restore is very similar, but it is a little bit, you know, it requires a little bit more steps, just to verify things and delete the old information. Okay, so that will be all for today. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Bye bye.